Everybody in the groove. Well, stick around. We're just warming up, baby.
Okay. Does it work better now? I hope it does. All right. I hope it. I hope everything is fixed now. Perfect. All right. Yeah. All right. I use a software in here to for the microphone Maybe it was not working properly. I don't know. I just restarted it and hopefully it's working okay. All right. Hi Dixon. Well, so let's take a look at what we can expect for next week, right? Or even how the market moved this week. If you have any key levels that you are looking for, any assets, feel free to comment. We are here to share with each other key zones that we may find good opportunities for next week. That's basically the goal of this live stream. Nothing else, basically. So yeah. So dollar. What do they have? We had CPI, right? CPI coming out a little bit higher than expected. Actually, it was out as expected. The previous months, those were the ones that were revised to the upside. So at this point, I think we are 6.4%, something like that. In the US, a lot of commentary from a lot of Fed members looking to continue to keep increasing interest rate to well above 5% and to stay at least throughout this year without any cuts. Oh yeah, so this is what the market was doing. We kind of talked about a little bit about that. I think the market, where did it close last week? Was 10, 11, was on the 10, right? Yeah, 10. It closed a little bit around this highs. I think we mentioned that there were some good opportunities to look for sales around this level on the dollar. And something that I also mentioned, it was the possibility of having a little bit of a range before price eventually moving to the upside, right? Our target has been for now, because it can be even higher than that, but for now at least to fill this range within here. And now it doesn't mean that price is going to go all the way until the extreme of this high, but maybe retesting something around this level could be a possibility. And yeah, yesterday we had that strong move up, a good opening for price to finally get some momentum, but it reversed around lunchtime around the US open, it reversed to the downside. Actually was a little bit caught up on that one. I was looking for the continuation of the dollar during the US open, and it didn't really happen. Yeah, so I was kind of initially looking for, first of all, I missed the short on the not the short, I missed the long initially on the euro, but then I was still biased to continue to look for shorts. That never happened. I managed to not open any trade. At least I didn't lose anything. So yeah, a good strong retracement on the dollar. Where is price reacting from? Not really sure. Yes, we do have quite a few levels of maybe previous support resistance around this line that price maybe has respected. Maybe if you dive deep into the lower time frame, maybe you can see something in there where price reacted from. I do like where actually euro reacted from, where the lows reacted on euro. It was a previous level of supply that should have respected price, and it didn't. Therefore, kind of becomes a demand. And even on the lower time frame, it reacted from a good level. What I didn't like to enter, it was that kind of double bottom that was created. In one of my brokers, it broke the low, in the other one it didn't, and I was a little bit not sure which one to trust in there. And then price didn't really did what I was looking for, participate in the move. Yeah, it doesn't really look that price has reacted from anything that important in here on this drop back on the 6th of January, right, with the NFP. That's when price dropped in here. Not sure if I can go there even in the lower time frame. Yeah, there's maybe more room to the upside, right? Maybe until we actually reach that other extreme. Yeah, I don't even have more room in there. Yeah. So just to confirm, my voice is good, right? So you can hear properly. Just to double check, I'm not going to be speaking for 1 hour and a half and then I look like a robot. Not really sure. Maybe on the bigger picture, I think we can still go a little bit higher. Price now is retesting this level, it's retesting this demand zone. So let's see what they're going to do. Nevertheless, a little bit of the range that we were looking for, it has been a little bit completed. Actually, between the different assets, I think pound is the only one that already reached this level. Good. Thank you, Dixon. So yeah, so this is a little bit of what I was looking of. Pound is the only one at this point that has reached a little bit this level. Euro, it's quite a little bit far away from it still. A little bit, dollar index kind of still has a little bit of space in there. Even the Aussie as well kind of paused even before it got there. So gold is a little bit in a different circumstance. It doesn't really have a proper zone created on the 6th of January in there. So yeah, are you going to continue to move down? Are you going to break this low? Are you going to retest this level? I mentioned there was a high probability that price could still kind of navigate in this level, maybe breaking slightly the low and then kind of retracing and whatnot. I think maybe I mentioned last week or not that this low actually didn't really touch the demand zone. Interesting enough, price actually reacted from there during the CPI and then just reversed. There was maybe a good opportunity in here to look for that continuation in there. And let's see how price now is going to react from this demand zone that pushed price to the upside. Eventually, for price to get closer a little bit to that level on the dollar, and depending on how actually price then is going to approach this level, there's even the chance to continue to the upside, right? So, nevertheless, on the other hand, I actually start liking. I think 2-3 weeks ago when finally price broke the lows and turned, I mentioned maybe two scenarios that could happen. First of all, 2-3 levels where price could react from this level, a little bit the top of this one. The base of this one has basically been already touched by this low, so that those orders kind of are already done. So this demand zone in here, maybe the top of it, or eventually the low extreme somewhere in there below already this low that was created during the last NFP. The price just reacted from this level. I was interested to see if you have a deeper trace all the way through there before reaching this level. Apparently it was just a medium kind of retracement all the way to the previous level of support resistance in there. So now I'm curious to see if eventually you are going to maybe continue to navigate to the upside. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper in here and eventually take this high. And maybe the deeper retracement is going to happen after we take this level of structure. Maybe then we may have something like this happening, and maybe price now can fake out whatever structure is going to be created in here into the zone below that, and maybe you can then navigate and go even higher. So it depends kind of where the high is going to be reacting from eventually when you do move much lower in here. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen in here on the dollar index. But yeah, maybe this high in here is kind of the last high created all the way until we reach this low. So maybe going to have that deep retracement after we do break this this high, or not. Our price will just leave this level for the future. I don't know when, or eventually it's not going to even be used as a long. But maybe price can go all the way into here, and now when it breaks this level, it should be working as a long. It's not going to work as a long, and maybe it's going to be used as a sell opportunity if price, for example, comes all the way back to here and then kind of just moves down. So yeah, attention in there on the dollar. Yep, it's still in the middle of the zone. I still would prefer to see dollar going a little bit higher in order to start looking for those reversals, but it is what it is at this point. Yeah, S&P. What did you have on the S&P? S&P was moving to the downside where it was 910. Yeah, it no, this was last day, 13. Okay, so this is where it was last week. It did respect this the demand zone. It went and moved to the upside. We did have broken this trend line in here, kind of showing a little bit maybe the indication to go lower, even though we actually had respected the demand, which is kind of still in there, even though we now broke this low. So maybe looking for the downside a little bit could be an option. Maybe because this lows already took this KM zone within this demand. Yes, nevertheless, I'm still a little bit biased of, or I would like to see still S&P going slightly higher, at least until there, to take this high before any major turn. We are indeed creating way too many highs in here, which is interesting. We did create this fake out, price went down, now it reacted from this left shoulder. Those orders are taken. Maybe there's a little bit of something more in here. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Wait to zoom out. Yeah, there's maybe still something around the supply, since this high is never really reached there. But yeah, this high took the orders from this zone in here. We had fake out, kind of a little bit of that pattern in there. We did broke the low. Let's see if we do continue to move to downside. If we do open now space to go maybe and navigate towards this range in here or not. But nevertheless, I would actually like to see the S&P taking still these highs before any major turn. It's creating a really good level of structure in here. I believe next time it goes there, there's going to be more people attempting to look for the sell, as we will see in a bit, just similar to what the Dow Jones did, right? So Dow is kind of working out really nicely based on the predictions that we have made. Yeah, so to go a little bit higher, and as I mentioned, even with the S&P, there's still even the chance that price even could take these highs from August eventually into here. So let's see if that's how it's going to happen. I do like still the zone in there. This was a nice supply, price reacted nicely from there, a little bit in alignment to this left shoulder. That's exactly where kind of price is reacting from here. So all good, but yeah, I would actually like to see. I already took all these two highs from here, so that maybe could be enough, but I would prefer to see price going a little bit closer there before maybe turning. we will see what's going to happen. There's maybe still some orders in here at this demand zone, just below this low. Price could use it. We'll see. I cannot maybe take this trend line from here. Yeah, a little bit of a decision here, moving up and down. This can be kind of a maybe distribution phase. Is that how you call it? When price kind of is maybe slightly starting to turn, maybe the same way that this was kind of an accumulation phase, and price just kind of moved to the upside during the month of January. Maybe now we're going to do the same for during February. We will see what's going to happen. But yes, my preference, my favorite zone is still maybe a little bit above it. But it's good. It's good that price at this point, it looks like or people are starting to think that this is a really strong level of resistance. So it makes it look like it's a bearish maybe scenario. Anytime price gets in here, which is great, because then everyone's going to be placing their stop losses just above that level, and I actually do like still that level. So that could be actually a good level in there. So make it look like it's bearish, just to then do a final spike in there to turn. What we have in here on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ a little bit similar to S&P, actually a little bit different but similar at the same time, because we took this high. Maybe there's a little bit more room to go higher on us. We did react nicely from that, from still this level in here, this highs. On NASDAQ, this demand zone is still fresh. On S&P, it has been reacted already. Price just reacted initially from this support resistance. We kind of broke this high, but didn't really manage to break properly a high. I would have preferred to see actually maybe this high to be taken and then price to go and collect this demand and then continue to go higher. We broke slightly the high. Maybe we have entered into this compression that is in there. Not sure about that. There are still some orders in there. But I'm going to pay attention to see how price is going to react from this demand. That's almost for sure. It looks like it's a really good level. We already have these lows to be the potential fake out. We even now create a double low in here with this move. In here with the closing, price kind of still respecting these lows. I'm going to be curious to see how price is going to react from this level, which could lead price to go higher one more time before maybe it finally reaches a little bit more closer to this level in there. Even if you consider even in this higher time frame, this looks like it was a Quasimodo that should have been respected on the way down. It's too much. Right, it looks like it's a Quasimodo that should have been respected. Price kind of should have done this. As you can see, it didn't. A few reasons for that. We can actually talk about that. But yes, usually it can become a Quasimodo that doesn't really work, or kind of a support that becomes resistance, or a demand that becomes supply, whatever. Sometimes this level, especially if it is in alignment with the demand zone like it is now, it can become a really interesting level to look for a potential entry and continuation to the upside. Yes, I would have definitely prefer to see a new high being created. I prefer to see kind of price moving upwards, going a little bit down, managing to break a new high, because this kind of gives a little bit more confirmation that price may wants to continue to go higher. And after that, yes, and after that take the lows and turn again, which in this case it will be somewhere these lows in here. So we didn't really have this new high being created, so a little bit more cautious in there. I would definitely be more bullish if you had broken that new high, but you did broke this zone in here, so that can still work quite nicely. But yeah, so actually let's just talk about Quasimodo in here. Yes, this in theory we have left shoulder, war low, higher high. We create new war lows based on this one, but then price didn't really respect it, kind of. And the reasons for that, actually this is a good exercise. First of all, we need to pay attention to where the war low is reacting from, and we need to pay attention to where the high is reacting from. So you need to look left to try to understand where are these two zones at least reacting from, in order to then be able to anticipate if you should be expecting price to respect the, like, to react from the left shoulder or not, and to kind of look for a move to the downside. And then the approach is also important, of course. So what we have in here, and this was actually a good example, and we talked about it. In reality, we already had broken this. So this high, the higher high, actually broke structure in there, right? And that kind of shows a very good indication to go higher. So that's kind of a little bit of the first reason, or something to be aware of, that maybe this quasi model wouldn't be respected. Second part is that these walls, right? These walls literally respected the origin of this move to the demand zone. So there's not exactly a space being created by these walls. It's actually reached the target, which was this demand zone, and after that it reacted from there. There's no break, there's nothing. Space has been filled. There's no new space being created. Therefore, when price eventually gets in here, the likelihood of price could react a little bit. But in theory, because this is kind of a 4-hour daily quasi model, you should be expecting some kind of continuation to the downside. So even if it's just a small reaction in there, and price maybe just respects the next demand, maybe that's everything that was available in there for the trade, and then price would go higher, right? So there's maybe still some reaction that could have occurred in there. However, the expectation of the target that can be managed. But yeah, but the likelihood of this one to work, since this was already an engulf upwards and price actually respected the lows, most likely it will just break. And this automatically can become a really good level now to, instead of look for shorts, actually to look for longs. And we did with this demand zone kind of in alignment exactly with this level of structure in here. So yeah, keeping an eye on this one on the NASDAQ to see how it works. Let's see what kind of approach we're going to have there. Yeah, let's see how it works in here. But it's a good tip for maybe a reason for the quasi model not to work. So yeah, NAS again, maybe a little bit more room to the upside before the turn. Are you going to start turning from here? Not sure. We have also this level of structure, right? This was the previous highs created in June. Price went down, price went up. It was a little bit already respected around this level, and now it's kind of being respected again in there. I think we may have more room to the upside until price gets closer to these levels. That's a little bit of what I am looking for. And the Dow, right? So interesting enough, I've been mentioning a few times that I'm a little bit, while on the other ones I would still like to see a little bit more room to the upside. On the Dow, I've been kind of looking for signs to go down a little bit more than the others, so it's kind of is a little bit of a contradiction. I'm still looking for this range. Now, yes, this will, and we broke this level. I was expecting these lows in here for price to go a little bit lower than that. It paused in there. All right. After that, we kind of now respected this level, but now this looks compressed a lot, and we just took these lows. We finally took these lows. Initially, even have taken these lows in here, and what we have, right? So as you mentioned, we had all this level of structure, how these highs as well, working out quite nicely. It looks like a really strong level of resistance. All right. Anytime price was approaching that level, it went to the extreme. Price went down. One more touch in there, got close in there. Another move down. Another move down. Another move down, and eventually, now that it actually looks like it created a proper supply, and after breaking these lows, which is most likely attract many people to try to short in here, what it does is kind of the opposite, right? It went up a little bit, and there you go, CPI just fake out all this structure, and it dropped immediately after that. There's actually kind of a supply in there that was left behind, even the extreme. We were mentioning of already a few times that there was a high chance that price could still fake out this level into there, and then maybe drop. Yes, we did broke the lows. Price retested now that level, and it continued to drop, and now we managed to break finally this low. So maybe open space a little bit for price to go down, at least now initially. Maybe fill this price, and then maybe fill the next one. Oh, what have I done? Yeah, maybe first fill this one, and then go all the way until here. A little bit of these two ranges in there. Now, is there anything still somewhere in there that can use price? Let's pay attention to this level in here. Yeah, maybe there is something in here above these highs in here that can be used still as a sell. Let's see. Yeah, overall, even on the left side, there's even the chance the price can go a little bit higher to the extreme there on the left. But for now, I think I like what I can see in here. And I think there's a chance for price to navigate and finally maybe reach this level. So we broke this one. It will be even interesting when eventually we do break this low and open space more to the downside. So yeah, that's now clearly taking that liquidity from there and then reversing. Yeah, let's see what's next. In here, something in there, or maybe a little bit more of a zone higher. Kind of price respected this level, didn't really move below that. There's maybe something still at the highs in there, and maybe something in here as well above this high. But this is something to pay attention to, right? So when you do have those kind of strong moves down, there's maybe some kind of supply in there, whatever. Anytime we do have the retracement, maybe price is not going to retrace all the way through the level. It's going to be underneath that level. So in the future, the thing here can be used quite nicely as fake out, and eventually price can then drop. Yeah. DAX. So what we have on the DAX, I mentioned last week, I think. I do like the level. I think we can be close to a good reversal. But I'm still looking for price to fake out still this high in here before this high somewhere in here. What's the level in here? 15,736, something like that. It's a good range in here. Price did manage to break that low. Nice reaction in there. How this was compressed. It took this high and then it reversed, but it went all the way down just to respect the demand zone. Right, the demand somewhere in here. You can use this high and this low kind of to define it in there. Yeah, it reacted somewhere in there, and there you go. These lows never really reacted from this level, so free to go there. So let's see what we're going to have. We did manage to break these lows, so there's maybe space being created in there to see price going slightly lower. So yeah, let's indeed see what's next. Are you going to finally take those highs that I mentioned and then turn? This looks like it's already taken that one. Let's take on this one. You see how price is going to behave in here, unless there's something else still in there. Yeah, not sure if that's still something in there or not. So yeah, bigger picture, I would still like to see price going above that high on the left side. But for now, yes, all this range in here is quite nice. It's good for price to start pausing a little bit. It's good for price to start breaking lows on the way down, on the way up. Let's see if that big reversal is going to occur or not on the DAX. Next, back to Euro Index. This one has been quite interesting. So what we have here, so yeah, price did reach that level on the left side that we talked about for the last few months. In there, it reacted from it. All this looks a little bit compressed. However, there are still demands somewhere in there, which is what we are having in here. So what we have, I'm still kind of targeting this potential low in there that broke that low on the left side. So this could be eventually the range that we'll be looking for to fill it. However, price didn't really manage to. It's never really managed to break this low. So there's not exactly straight away an indication in here. I did mention that yes, if it price indeed breaks this level, which initially respected it, but it didn't go anywhere else aside from respecting the next demand, and it just continued to go higher. So even if you're looking for any sales in here, price did react from there, but just reacted from the demand and continue. If price had broken this level, maybe there will be more chances to move down. Yeah, above this level, all this looks compressed, price will go higher, and maybe price can go even a little bit higher than that. Again, similar story. We had this supply that in theory should have been kind of respected in a stronger way. It didn't really manage to do that, and then what we usually can see as well is the supply level kind of as we break above that level, as we move away from the zone, it kind of creates exactly a demand almost in alignment, right? You can just extend this rectangle, and it kind of catches this demand zone that is in here as well. And there you go. It worked now as a long. It worked actually a few times, and it went even a little bit deeper last Friday. There you go. Move upwards. There's maybe more room to the upside on the Euro index before maybe we turn to the downside. Now, I'm not really the biggest fan of maybe what I can see in here. There's that structure here on the left side. In order to push price to the downside, where would be a good zone in here to find or to look for the Euro index to continue to go down? This looks compressed. Something in there, maybe. Are you going to still have a new fake out still within that supply level and a fake out this high before the turn? Maybe. Just keep following. I'm going just to keep following Euro index to see what's going to do. And if I start seeing lows being taken as price is moving higher, that will help me to maybe try to fine tune a potential zone to look for the reversal. We have all these extreme in here at the highs. Maybe retest the highs before moving down. We'll see exactly what is going to happen. I don't even know why I have this rectangle in here. Doesn't really tells me much aside from being in the reaction to that visual support resistance. We do have all these lows in here. That level, this looks like it has been taken in there. We have this supply in there. Yeah, a little bit not as clear. Maybe in there? Not sure. Not sure. This looks like it's moving down. Something in here, something in there. Yeah, not sure. Are you going to have another fake out on the euro? Maybe are you going to go maybe a little bit deeper into here, a little bit into the extreme? Yeah, let's see what's going to happen in here. Eventually I'm going to keep an eye on this zone in here, because this wall broke that wall. Eventually can have the turn, but yes, we didn't really manage to break this wall now, so cautious with that one. Let's see how price is going to react from that level. Yep, let's see. And the yen index, right? So just moving a little bit more. It's kind of a little bit on the range, which is weird. Dollar yen is moving more than the yen index. I think it's a little bit more. I think the dollar yen has been moving more in alignment with the dollar itself than just whatever is going on in the yen, because we have seen Aussie yen going a little bit down, while dollar yen has been kind of moving upwards, and we create this range or this kind of move to the downside, but in a super a compression way. Eventually we may reach this level of this previous level of resistance can become support. Not sure if there's anything in particular in here to hold price. I think I can do it this one for now. Doesn't really does anything at this point. Eventually we can go a little bit higher, maybe retest something in here and continue to move down. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen. I've started to finally, it's been a while, but I've started to pay attention a little bit more regularly to the dollar yen and to the other yen pairs on the intraday level. I've been trading them again. Sometimes it happens to be a few weeks. For example, I remember during when the yen index was in here, I basically ignored everything that the yen was doing. That lasted like 2-3 weeks. Before that, I was actually active again, trading it, and for some reason now I'm starting to pay attention to them again, to start trading them. Yeah, maybe a little bit more room to the downside. Maybe can retest, can go down. We'll see. I think we can somehow reach somewhere in here. This looks like too obvious for price to bounce and go, so maybe some kind of manipulation around this level. If price does indeed want to reverse from here, we will see what's going to happen. Yeah. Yep, we'll see. And that's it for these ones. Let's take a look at the major FX pairs. And let's start with the euro. Here we are. Just delete a few lines. Yeah, let's just delete a few of these lines in here. So yeah, so where did the market started, right? So basically last week we opened after breaking this low. We had the reversal straight away. I mentioned that there was a high probability, or there was a big chance that price, instead of just literally moving to the downside and maybe reaching closer to this level, that price would do the opposite, and it would kind of move more in a zigzag way. Initially we had respected these highs. I was actually already looking for price to go above these highs when we created this high here, but in that moment price respected it, and it went there just during the CPI data, right? So it went there last Tuesday, really nice zone where it reacted from. It took this highs, it reacted from this previous level of support resistance into something in here. So it was a really nice zone where the euro reacted from, and then we just continue to navigate to the downside. I was looking for a sell as well the other day, with price kind of reaching a little bit closer to this level. Price can just pause in there without reaching that level, so no sell for me. And during the CPI as well, like, it's interesting enough. If you actually go into the war time frame, you are going to see that, okay, still not in here. You're going to see that the first move is actually down, showing indication where it wants to go. And after that, we have the fake out of this level, and after that, price just resume the move to downside. Kind of a nice quasi mode actually created in here, because I have the left shoulder, price went down, price creates fake out, price creates a new low, it tests, and it continues to move down. So yeah, now yesterday, and you can see actually both scenarios, maybe different time frame. Right, what you can see, for example, we had this supply in there that should have price should have been respected and moved down. Price didn't do that, and then you can see in here, in the future, it kind of worked quite nicely as a kind of a zone where price bounced to the opposite side. Initially a sell, not now a long, and another one, right? So we had, this is the zone where yesterday price reacted from. It's a nice supply level in there as well, and there you go. It's another level that price should have been respected. It's one of the one of the last supplies somewhere in here that was still fresh after this move down. So prices broke it. Yeah, so after reacting from there, our price in theory, and it did react a little bit from there, but then it just continued up, just continued to go higher, not to the downside, and now it's reacting as a long in there. It was a nice zone. There was indeed some structure in there that the price took the lows in the overtime frame in here. So we had all this accumulation of lows, and price kind of just took them in there, and after that it turned. That's actually something that I was looking for and waiting on the euro, but ended up not really going for the long, because I was even looking for still continuation to short the euro after the retracement. In this one, price actually broke the low, on the other one it didn't, and I was actually looking for price to go here. I think on the tick chart there was this zone. Price respected a KM zone on the 10-second chart in there and just continue to go higher. I was looking for price to go to still take this low, and then I'll try to go long. Regardless, I think I'll have to close it earlier than that, because I was looking for a potential sell. Actually, somewhere in here, I'll be looking for those sells somewhere in there, because I was biased to see the euro continue to move to the downside. Yes, I was expecting some kind of reaction around this level, but then I was expecting price to just continue, eventually get closer to this level, right? So the target that you are looking for still somewhere in there. Yep, price. Yeah, still looking for price to do that. Pause a little bit in the middle. Okay, let's see what's going to happen next week. Are you going to continue to navigate like that? There's maybe still some opportunities to look for sales along the way, or price to retrace as well and to continue to look for longs. So there you go. You may continue within this kind of range. In here, are we going to have even a deeper retracement and maybe finally getting close to these levels? So a little bit of opportunity for both scenarios. Bigger picture, just similar to last week when we broke this low. I think we may still, even though now we kind of reached this important structure. So this high in here, this supply, is already kind of a little bit part of all this move down. It's kind of the upper edge of this move. Overtime frame maybe then sometimes in here, and of course overtime frame maybe just in there. So yeah, to reach at least this level. But yes, overall I'm still looking for the euro to go a little bit down. So bigger picture, a little bit more room to the downside, but price can eventually have a deeper retracement. This level can be still interesting in there, otherwise maybe price can just continue to go higher. Let's see how it's going to open next Monday in here. Yeah, and this level in here, really nice where price reacted from in there. Yep, even something above that level. Price kind of took this one in there. Let's see. This zone kind of come all the way back in here, took that level, maybe reacting from here could be an option. Not sure if there's anything in here that price could still use. We finished the week taking these highs and staying just in there. So let's see on the euro what's going to happen. A little bit similar to the dollar. There's maybe a little bit more room to the upside, maybe before continue to go higher. I continue to go to the downside, sorry. Pound, as I mentioned, pound was it's the one that has finally is reacting already from this level, somewhere in here, from this move upwards. So pound has kind of reached that zone. What do I have in here? Again, pound, similar to the euro, during the CPI, it first kind of spiked down and all the way up. It took this double top, nice reaction from there as well. And after that, it just continued to move down. There was literally still space between this low and this space in here. So that's what pound did. It went a little bit more to the downside. Now it's going to be interesting to see how price is going to react from here. Bigger picture, I mentioned already, even when you created these lows or when you broke these lows in here, that price most likely took these lows, this double low in there, and that could be seen a little bit as an engulf down for the future. Meanwhile, we went all the way up, we took the highs, and now let's see what's going to happen. Yes, some reaction here I think can be obvious. Where this low reacted to on the left side, which is somewhere in here. Not sure if this level is kind of final destination. I would prefer to see price going down. So maybe actually we have engulfed into this compression zone with these lows. So there's a little bit more room to the downside, and this is actually maybe an engulf down. So yeah, maybe some reaction from here, because this level is definitely still fresh, and we already have that reaction. But maybe eventually we can just resume the move to the downside. Now we took the high in here on the pound. We didn't really reach the next level that was in there. Nevertheless, I think we are going to I think we may first break these lows before going down. We did broke this high though. It's going to be interesting to see what the pound is going to do. Maybe still some reaction from this level. Maybe even some here. Resuming the move down. It was a lot of compression on the way up last Friday. This type of move had a lot of compression. It's kind of a little bit touched in there already. So yeah, let's see in there what's going to happen. Do it this. Get this one as well. We slightly took this high, so that was nice to see. Yeah, let's see if price by any chance reaches again somewhere close to these levels. This is actually nice to see. The first attempt to go higher, then you have to fake out, and then kind of price just goes higher from there. Yeah, let's see how price is going to react, and if it reaches to this level or not. Yeah, price has reached that one, right? So now it's time a little bit to wait and see how price is going to react. There's maybe something still a few levels in here close to this low that price could go to, but overall the distance between the space going from these lows all the way until there, that has been somehow built or completed. Therefore, it's time to wait and see to see what's next for the pound. What's next for the pound? Are you going to manage to break these lows? I'm a little bit biased to say that could be an option. Let's see. Let's see. What do you guys think? What is your view on these pairs? Any key levels that you are looking for? Anything? Aussie. Yep, Aussie. Again, if you are still looking for that level in there from the 6th of January, it kind of paused something in here. It's a little bit of previous level of support resistance as well. Again, the final destination, maybe there's still more room to the downside. It was a really strong compression on the way down yesterday morning until finally we had that reversed move. Aussie a little bit different. So I mentioned as well, when you created this low, this was an engulf down, so that was a little bit obvious. I even like when actually this just a small break. That's even a more obvious engulf for me than if it is kind of a strong one. Yeah, so the engulf down that happened in there on the Aussie. Now, yes, we mentioned as well that this high kind of had broken that one. I was looking for price to get closer to this level before looking for the sell. But price during the CPI just kind of paused a little bit in the middle. So yeah, if you actually navigate and if you actually go to the 1 minute time frame, you see that after this drop, price kind of retraced. It kind of paused in there and then kind of continue. So we took that that height of the retracement. Yeah, we did that. Now, bigger picture, what type of pattern can you start seeing in here is maybe that we create this move down, we kind of retracement, we create a newer low, which can be quite interesting. And now I would like to see price kind of going a little bit higher, to then continue to move down. So that actually it will be the ideal if price could just go higher before even reaching to this level. That could make me still look for sales for sure. Something in here can be still interesting, since now we created this sign here. Can attract people to look for sales in there. There's even the chance to go all the way back and maybe fill this price as well. But even before we get there, I think price first is going to respect something in here. So let's see if price by any chance is going to just continue to fill, maybe touch that level or even break below it. It may even break below that. And then only after that we have maybe the deep retracement. The level where it reacted was really good. We talked about that when it happened, even before it happened. So yeah, let's see what's next. There's maybe still something in here on the Aussie that can be used for a sell. Doesn't really need to go all the way to the upside if it wants to continue to move down. So yeah, for example, I do like this level still in there above this highs in here that kind of never really reacted or reached this zone somewhere in there. So that could be a nice level for price to go to, and then maybe continue. We kind of move this one. Maybe I've actually broken into this compression zone, so a little bit cautious with that one. Maybe this high is already an engulf upwards in here. Yeah, maybe something to pay attention to. It's actually a nice reaction from this level in there. Yeah, let's see if the Aussie by any chance is going to continue to move higher and maybe getting closer to this high and then continue to move to the downside. Yeah, so there are a few levels that I'm for sure going to be looking for a potential sell on the Aussie. Yeah, for sure. Depending on how price is going to be approaching that level, I think there's maybe some opportunities. No, it doesn't mean that from every single one of them there's going to be information that price is going to retest the lows or even break the lows. Let's see how price approaches the level in order to manage the expectations for the target as well. Because maybe from here price actually may just wants to now continue to go higher and maybe even target this high from these lows. Yeah, that's an interesting one on the Aussie. This one I can do with this. Yeah, looking at the yen pairs. There you go. We can actually take this one. A little bit of the sell that I had in there. The yen, right? Are you going to go a little bit higher in there? I think you may go there. As I mentioned already, even when you did broke this high during the NFP in January, this for me was actually kind of an engulf up in terms of expecting price to then to respect that. Especially again, similar to the other scenario, we did manage to respect these lows on the yen, so we respected that. It's a good level on the daily time frame. not mistaken. We continue to go higher. Also, that you mentioned as well last week was that price had broken this high, right? So this high in here had taken that high for a little bit, therefore still looking for longs. It will be the ideal. We took slightly the high once again. We tested this previous level in here, even with this level. It's a really nice zone of demand that was created in here. Again, another supply that maybe will be touching there, but kind of should have holded price and pushed price to the downside. That didn't happen. Then there's this demand zone in here, and there you go. During the CPI, that's exactly where the end went to, and it reacted from, and continuation to the upside. Now we did broke this this wall, so I'm going to start looking at this level in here as a potential range that eventually is going to be fulfilled, and price may go in here and then maybe continue higher. We did took the highs. Over time frame, is there anything in there that could where price now is reacting from? Maybe. I actually prefer to see a little bit price go maybe slightly higher in there. Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen in here. On the end, maybe it can still respect something in here and price can continue to go higher, or you can even take these lows and go there. This was actually a nice compression as well. Anticipation, maybe there could be some opportunity in there. Yeah, I did miss basically the timing of these reversals. This is a really nice compression in there. The only pair that was still at a good level in that moment was 0, but that double low, it tricked me a little bit. So yes, let's see how price is going to react. These walls are in here. It was definitely already an engulf down. Price still managed to respect it. Price went upwards. So let's see what's next on the end. Are we going to just resume the move to the upside? Maybe depending on what the dollar as well is going to do. It's going to be an interesting one. And eventually we can see also that we already broke slightly this low in there. For the major reversal, maybe eventually we are going to target this low altogether and looking for price to go somewhere below that. I don't think that's still on the cards. On the end, I think we may go higher first before we do that. Yeah, but paying attention to these ones, do that. Keep track of them, because eventually that can be a beautiful target when price is ready to reverse. And on the other hand, just below that level can be actually a good zone to expect some kind of bounces or reaction from price, and maybe there's a good opportunity to for longs in there. So yeah, the end pairs, yeah, maybe going a little bit closer to somewhere in here can be something interesting. Euro yen, a little bit similar to the dollar yen. Actually, it has been moving a little bit more in a range, kind of to showcase a little bit what the dollar index, the yen index has been doing. Again, maybe reaching closer to this level could be an option, or eventually even go and navigate to the and go higher. We managed to respect all this double low in there, so yes, maybe getting closer to here eventually could be an option. Retested from this level, and is retesting now from this previous level in here. It's a very tricky at this point. I would prefer to see price navigating more to the upside. Way too many highs in here. Yeah, maybe something in there. I haven't really paid attention too much for the euro yen recently. Yes, I was active when price was actually navigating from this level, but from all these last weeks, as I mentioned, I haven't really paid attention to the yen, which is something that I'm starting to do again on the intraday level to trade them. Yeah, we're going to go a little bit higher. Yep, anything in here? This was a big sell-off that occurred. It's a tricky one. Are we literally in the middle? Yeah, not really sure what to expect from these guys. Go a little bit higher. Let's see how it reacts from there, and then maybe we can just continue to go higher and go there, or just go down, maybe test to this level again and maybe go higher. Yeah, I don't really have a bias at this point on the euro yen. Yeah, not really sure. On the yen, has been respecting, has been kind of trying to go higher as well. Maybe we can do that with respect to this zone in here. Maybe we can finally go higher. Maybe getting closer to that level. It's respecting the lows quite nicely. Yeah, this one has been respected as well. So yeah, maybe we can continue to go and move higher. Finally, maybe take this high and continue to the upside. Yeah, I may start paying attention again to this one more often. Yeah, maybe we can continue to go finally move away from this range here that has been there for the last basically 2 months or so. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD doing. Interesting enough, CAD respected the low. Right, so CAD has been again, we target that we wanted to see price going below that level. Wait, wrong button. We wanted to see CAD going below that level to fake out that level and then go higher. It did it. It reacted from here, created some level of structure in here. We actually had broken slightly the high in there. Yes, during the CPI, apparently price and CAD respected this level. CAD is another one that I haven't really been active trading it recently. I'm not really a big fan of all these spikes in here, up and down that has been going on. Yeah, maybe eventually I'm going to start being active again trading the CAD. Yep, it took the highs, maybe a little bit more room to the upside. We just respected now this base in here, and price reacted to the downside. It's in a lot of ranges in here. Are you going to retest this previous level or not? We'll see. During all this period, I was actually looking for price to go a little bit closer to this level before the sell-off, or before looking for sales. Price just stayed at around that level. This was a good zone. I remember that one during the NFP. Yeah, aside from that, nothing much to talk about this one. It's a lot of spikes here and there. Strong moves up, then it's a lot of range. Yeah, it hasn't been a pair that is kind of stood out to me in terms of looking for opportunities. I'm just keeping an eye on them, following it, and eventually something's going to stand out to me for me to try to trade it. Yeah, maybe more room to the upside. Retesting. We have now way too many lows as well, just respecting in here. This level, I've been looking for this level for quite a while, for price to go a little bit lower to these lows. That didn't happen yet, so yeah, nothing much to be honest in there. Dollar franc Swiss, it's respected, so it mentioned similar to dollar yen and to the Aussie, a small engulf upwards last week, indicating that it wanted to go higher. And yes, it respected now this level. I was still looking for price to go a little bit lower before maybe turning. Now we reacted from this level. Nice little zone in there. Nice little left shoulder in there. Now, is this the final destination? Is this where now Aussie is going to resume the move down? I think we can still see or have more room to the upside. I actually like this level in here. We just took this low, we created a double low, we kind of fake out that level. So I actually like it. A really nice reaction from this one zone. We took these highs. Yeah, I think we could see a little bit more room to the upside. Nevertheless, maybe price will first, for example, maybe even react from here and then resume the move upwards. So maybe that could be an option. Taking this a little bit these lows and then go higher, or retracing a little bit more to the downside in there. This would be my favorite. In here we'll see, depending on the PA, our price approach this level in order to find a good entry in there. Our price tend to maybe fill this range in here, or even go higher, because everything looks a little bit compressed in there. So yep, that's for the dollar franc Swiss. I think we may have a little bit more room to the upside. Gold, nice one on gold. So gold has been moving to the downside a little bit as expected. It actually has been a little moving to the downside a little bit in a more trendy way than the other ones. For example, than the euro, the dollar, or the pound, or the Aussie. The other ones have been moving a little bit more like this. Gold has been just moving down, right? Created that high in there, and it has been moving to the downside. It's reacting from a good level here on the Davis. We took this low, this important low, we took it, and now it's reacting from this next level. So we had kind of all this compression that started in here. There's a little bit of a pause, and then kind of price goes in a strong move to the upside again, kind of jumps through this level, retraces, and it kind of creates a new zone. So from this low all the way until here, it starts kind of a new zone. There's maybe another smaller zones in there, but yes, this is initial compression all the way until here. We paused, and then we start again, and now price is reacting from that level. So we just took this low. We just took this low in here. This low actually had already taken these two lows in here. So this is a little bit of what I was mentioning before. Pay attention when we see, or when you see kind of a low taking or engulfing previous lows in there, and price, instead of kind of follow through with that engulf, it kind of does the opposite, starts moving upwards. In the future, this can become a really good target for you. So by any chance, if you're short, or if you're in any shorts on gold, you can attempt to look for that or this level as your target, or one of your targets. Yeah, and on the other hand, if this is a good level for a target for shorts, most likely it can be a good zone to look for a long. We had indeed some good levels of support resistance within this level. Nice zone in here as well of the month, and there you go. Gold end up reacting from there. We may take this high, and maybe can go a little bit in here. At that level, there's maybe a few zones even within this level that can be used as a short. Yep, but we do kind of have this level, right? So we may have now this one as left shoulder. Price actually created this higher high in here. We now have the fake out, and I think now you can see a little bit of maybe what we can start to create in here. Favorite to be something like that. Can even go higher. Maybe can take all those highs in here. Yep, keep going higher gold, and then eventually go down, and I'll take maybe some kind of mid-level in here into this demand zone in alignment to this left shoulder, and after that you can maybe have a deeper retracement in here, maybe towards this level in there, or even starting get closer to the higher high in there, right? I think this can be a really interesting zone for a potential good reversal in there. Let's see. Price reacted quite nicely initially from this low, kind of created the double low in there, and now price may be retracing, and we have kind of a demand zone in alignment with that level. So that can be interesting, and you can see easily, right? So it's amazing how price behaves closer to a potential reversal, right? You can see all this range in here, our price pauses in here. It's actually a really nice move. Our price then breaks this high, indicating that it wants to go higher. Then kind of we still managed to break the low. It respected that zone and that low on the left side. It does indeed go higher, and it doesn't really react from anything, but it does indeed take this high again. So maybe another indication it wants to go higher again. Finally, it takes that lows into that demand zone on the left, and now it turns, right? And now maybe it weaves this level in here for the future. Let's see if it breaks the supply. I think it will eventually, and let's see. If he does that, then eventually can go all the back in here and maybe retest and go higher. It depends as well where the high eventually is going to be reacting from, in order to anticipate if you should be looking for longs in here or not. But it's a good one, right? To create all this range. A little bit of a manipulation here, indecision, kind of price goes up, down, up, whatever. It's giving information and clues. But yeah, it can confuse many people. And then eventually it turns and it goes. Right, and if you were aware already of this low, that could be a great. So when you have these levels in here, price just took this level. This low took those lows, and all of a sudden the approach. That's what I mean as well about the approach and how important it is. All of a sudden you see the approach kind of ranging a lot or creating a little bit of manipulation just above that level. That's a good PI. That's a really great price action to look for, right? If the price was just moving in a really strong way to the downside, maybe there was no chance to even try to attempt to look for the reversal in there. But all of a sudden price just pauses, just ranges, starts to create, as I mentioned, starts to breaking highs as it's moved down, which is a really good indication that maybe it's close to a reversal, starting to break highs. It still creates new lows, but the strength from the buyers, it starts to appear in here, and then eventually we may have that reversal, right? So it's a little bit similar. Again, what you had in here at the highs, what we do even before that, we kind of break the lows. What you do after that, you finally fake out the highs, and you're ready to turn, which is really nice. Again, similar in here, we create that strength, that range in there, and in alignment with these highs. All of a sudden you have the fake out, and you're ready to go, and you start breaking even lows even before you get to that stage. So that's a really nice way to move and to navigate, and you can start gathering information about that, right? You don't need just to it's not guessing, it's actually kind of starting to understand the information that price is telling us. Yeah, that's for gold. What else? Yeah, BTC. Yeah, let's take a look at crypto, because crypto moved quite nicely, and there's good info in there. We broke the highs, right? So we broke the highs in here from August on BTC, correct? So we broke this high. Let's do it this. Yeah, we did broke this high, which can be seen as an engulf to the upside, kind of opening space for finally price to go from this 25 mark, maybe all the way to 27 or even 30, right? To retest these levels in here, which is quite interesting. So we were aware of that. We were aware of this compression. Price indeed reacted quite nicely from there, and you were aware of this previous level of resistance that could end up quite nicely working as support, and somewhere in here price could indeed look for the continuation to the upside. And what does price do? Again, it managed to break highs, and then it creates the final lower low, right? So it still created the first high. It fake out the current low, you create a new lower low, and after that it turned to the upside. And this can be seen as well as a good quasi model in here, right? Again, kind of using those left shoulders. Price goes. Did it took this high? 1 second. Scaling there is amazing. If you took this high, it would be great. And it did took it this high, right? It's amazing. It's beautiful. So we managed to take these highs finally, and this becomes kind of a quasi model pattern in there. So it's amazing way to reverse. Yep, we do have all those lows. We managed to break, even broke this one, right? It's amazing. Yeah, we managed to break that one, and after that price turns. Now the speed and the strength of the move, that's of course it is what it is. but it was a really nice demand zone. Again, that really nice demand zone in alignment with the previous level of resistance where price reacted from. So on the bigger picture, you may not even see that much, but in here on these 15 minutes, you can literally see where price reacted from. So if price had broken, for example, maybe below this demand, maybe there was a little bit more room to go down until find the next one, but it respected precisely in there. You start seeing it's even great to see that price initially pauses slightly above that, doesn't really touch it, then managed to break a new high, and now creates the fake out, starts breaking highs, starts breaking new highs in there, and there you go. The turn happens. And what you have in here again, right? So another Quasimodo, beautiful Quasimodo, left shoulder goes, fake out, price goes down, price kind of in theory should respect there. What does it do? It doesn't. And what does he leave in there? In that moment, this decision point in here. Where does price react from afterwards? It's beautiful. In alignment with that IKM that should have been respected in there, and it's not. The price just moves. Yeah, there was now kind of a Quasimodo in here, which price kind of already reacted a little bit from that level. But yes, overall, the big important information is that we Bitcoin managed to break this high in here from August, and there's a high probability that price can indeed move higher, and it can go towards those 27 or 30k level. Now, is it going to go straight into that level? No guarantee of that. Price actually can do the opposite. Price actually can first have some kind of deep retracement before then resumes to move to the upside. Now, bigger picture for me, this is indeed an engulf upwards. I don't know even if price broke the structure in here that this high was reacting from. That can be something interesting to pay attention to. Just take a look into there. By the way, this option in here created from the trading box is amazing. You just click in here and you go directly into the last time that price touched it, and it's in here. In reality, price is still within this supply level. Right, the other low is reacting from. Let's just actually take a look at that again. So that's the one, and then the other one, let's make it this color. Right, just go there, precisely in there. Yes, somewhere in there. Great. Yeah, so let's go back there again. Did I click it twice? Yeah, so we are in here, right? So we'll go into the lower time frame. Yeah, so price is reacting from somewhere inside this level. Initially reacted from the zone underneath, and now it's reacting from there. Do I have enough information? Enough data? Which day was that? 13th of June. Oh. Where is the info? It's kind of missing something in here. I don't have this rectangle. Let's understand. And around 10 AM. Which is actually 8. Oh, okay. Maybe on the 5 minutes there's something weird going on in there. Yeah, so initially it kind of reacted from the base of it, and now it's reacting from here. Yep, this is where it reacted in August, and now it's reacting from this beautiful zone in there in alignment to this level. Yep, maybe even the next structure can be somewhere in here. So yeah, it's still a valid zone. It's still even within this level, so price didn't even break out this decision point in there. So let's see what's going to happen. Nevertheless, yes, it did broke the high. It may look like it's an engulf upwards. It can be just for the future. Price can actually retrace a little bit before that. So let's see how BTC is going to react, right? So that's an important one. But yeah, overall within this structure is still quite important. Nice level in there. So this price now took these highs. Still reacting from there. So let's see. Price was compressing. Price now took this last demand zone in there. There's maybe something to go above that level. Yeah, interesting to see if we are going to have just a continuation, or by any chance we are going to have first some kind of deep retracement before continuing to the upside. Yeah, that level was already reacted from this zone in there. Okay, so that's one to look at. In a bit I'm going to look at total market cap, which is interesting as well. Ethereum had a strong move up as well, kind of reacted from something in there. We did broke the lows. Bigger picture, it looks like can be an engulf in there without really reaching the next level. Already on 30 minutes, about 1 hour. Now it's reacting even more from this level. Initially just from here. Bigger picture, as I mentioned, I'm actually still looking for price to go close to that, close to this range, to actually fake out this high before any turn. So let's see if that's going to happen. Yep, a little bit of a reaction here. Yeah, normal. You can see the type of pattern that we are creating in here. Maybe price can go eventually towards that level, but you can see also again a previous level of supply. This one in here that moved price down. Price in theory should have respected this level. Once again, kind of becoming a little bit repetitive in here. But yeah, nice reaction from there. Let's see, it's already a good reaction here. I'm going to continue to move down from there or not. But bigger picture, I'll still like to see Ethereum going slightly higher, right? On the daily time frame, that high never really reached the zone that it should. This one in here from September. So yes, I would like to see price getting closer to that level. Before this is actually a nice level in there, where price kind of is reacting. Yeah, so it's reacting now from somewhere in here. It's still a valid zone. It's a good zone to have some impact. Bigger picture, as you can see, it looks like that we kind of broke these lows, where the next maybe space to be kind of to go there on the daily time frame. But in the hour time frame, there was something still in here that price is indeed reacting from, right? This daily candle in here. Nice retail reaction. The price can maybe even just navigate a little bit down, respect this level again, and go higher. Continue to go higher. So yeah, in crypto, BTC breaking that high, that's kind of an important one in there. And something else that I wanted to talk or to mention with crypto. 1 second. Where is it? Yeah, looking at this one. Crypto total market cap, right? So this is of course super correlated with BTC, but I just wanted to mention one thing in here. Right, so what I wanted to say is comparing BTC with this one and comparing where price end of August or beginning of September kind of reacted from, we can see that BTC basically the higher high, just zoom in a little bit. So this is the bigger picture that you can see, right? So yep, this bigger picture, we actually took that low beautifully and reversed straight after that. We had created a really nice level and go. Yeah, let's see if that's not an engulf down. It reacted quite nicely from this level. Now, comparing both of them, zooming in a little bit in here. So we had BTC reacting just basically from the retest of this low, and that was the high, like in September. So this high on BTC, it just paused in here, and after that price went down, it hit new lows and whatnot, and now finally broke this high again, right? So that's what happened this week. While on this one in here, the crypto total market cap, which is kind of a little bit correlated with BTC, in September or in August, it went a little bit deeper than that, right? It didn't just stop in here. It actually went deeper into it. It reacted from this level. So this is basically the space that BTC still has to fill, just to even match what is going on in here, right? So basically, and that would mean kind of Bitcoin to go maybe to those 30K level, and then maybe could react from it to the downside. While the daily market, while this crypto total market cap, it doesn't really need to break new highs before maybe continue to move, move down, right? So that's the difference. Is BTC kind of pausing here, and now it has all this space to fulfill. While this one, if you just keep an eye on it as well, and if you continue to follow the type of correlation that there are, it may not need to do that. Now, this high in here just reacted from the base of it. Maybe could go a little bit closer to this level in there as a reaction. So we indeed could even still pick out this level towards this level. But yeah, and even the reaction now from Bitcoin, for example, yesterday after we took the highs, it's actually a really nice supply level in here. Yeah, it's just some ideas to look at when you are thinking in terms of correlation between different pairs. You can kind of use in a different way, of course, but you can analyze like this NASDAQ and S&P and dollar index and euro and whatnot. So this is some ideas to consider. Come on, just scroll down a little bit more. Can you do that? Yeah, right. You can see the beautiful supply where price reacted. Was it yesterday? Something like that. It moved to the downside. Now is price now going to react from here and going to continue to move down? Maybe. Really similar to BTC, that we had all this structure. We had all this structure in here. Price went all the way down. It respected some level in there, and now it continued to go higher. And again, similar to BTC, kind of broke some structure of highs in there, we created the low, and then we moved higher as well. So let's see if price is going to respect this level. It's going to continue to move down or not, or if it's going to continue to go higher. But yeah, in theory, yes, Bitcoin open the door to the upside. It can go revisit that 27 or 30K mark, which everyone's going to be super bullish about it. And we'll see what's happened afterwards. We will see what's going to happen after that. And even to be a little bit more precise, maybe this is the extreme in here, which kind of, there's still space in reality. There's this high, it just reacted this supply in here. Maybe price can go a little bit higher, closer to this level. So there's maybe a little bit more room to the upside as well, even in this one, even taking these highs in there. So keeping an eye on that one. Let's see how price is going to react from. We indeed may still have something in here. You can see how this manipulation, price was going down, spiked up, and now kind of maybe created something in here that these highs in here never really got there. So this one in here can be interesting as well. Yeah, that's basically what you have in here. Yeah, just something to keep an eye on for everyone that trades crypto. And yeah, that's basically it for me. Yeah, a little bit quiet today, guys. Feel free to participate. Feel free to share your key zones. Feel free to discuss key levels to look for. That's the main point of doing this. I'm also doing it because I do my weekly analysis during the weekend. So at least this task is done. I can start preparing my next week, and mentally kind of visualizing key levels and the ideas and buys to have for Monday and maybe Tuesday, and then kind of keep adapting as price is moving. Yeah, tomorrow it's going to be trading journal, right? So analyze my own performance, how what trades I took, how well did I perform, and so on. Yeah, that's on Sundays that I usually do. Guys, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for taking the time with me. Last week it was quite funny. I think it had like 300 views during the stream. Maybe the first time that I had so many views in a single day during lives. So thank you for everyone that is watching. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so. Next Tuesday I'm not going to go live again. It's a special date, so I'm going to be busy. Yeah, I'll be back next Saturday. Enjoy your weekend, guys. I'll see you next Saturday. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Obrigado.